What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, I got a new truck, another one. I got a 2025 Ram 1500. Oh, yeah, SST, the Hurricane, standard output, twin turbo. We're going to do this. We're going to do this again. You're wondering why? Well, there's a reason. We're going to get into that right now. So here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. I got another Ram 1500, the SST. This one's black with chrome. It's a Bighorn edition. So this one is not nearly as optioned as my 2025 Ram Rebel. If you're wondering why I got this, some of you already know, and there's others of you that are going to think I'm absolutely crazy. So let me go ahead and explain real quick. Some of you probably saw my Instagram post where I mentioned that my truck had broken down. And it did, badly. Many codes, lots of problems, misfires, transmission issues. We're having a lot of trouble with that truck. There is a dedicated video coming out on that truck, hopefully sooner than later. So this is what they gave me to replace. I couldn't believe it. And here's the great part. I didn't get this from the dealership. The dealership actually sent me to Enterprise, and Enterprise said, would you be okay with a Ram 1500? And I was like, Hemi? They said, no, SST. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I figured while we've got this new truck with only 8,000 miles on it, why don't we take a quick look at kind of a base model? I mean, it's a little better than a base model, but compared to my truck, kind of a base model. I mean, it's got the cloth interior, but it does have a sliding rear window. It's got the upgraded sound system. It's got the upgraded screen. You don't get the nice cubbies down here that I have in mind, like for storing stuff under your seats. You don't get the screens and everything all over the place, but it's still a really nice truck. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's a really nice truck. What I like about this one most is two things. Number one, the wheels and tires on this are like the standard size wheels and tires, but the biggest thing in my opinion is this truck has the regular rear axle. Mine's like a 391. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm just throwing a number out there, but mine's like a 391, 392, something like that. It's made for being able to take off quickly. And that's a lot of that is for towing. The problem is that comes at a cost of fuel economy. As you start going faster and faster with those gears, it's going to cause the engine to rev higher. When you have gears like these, the engine actually revs lower, but it's slower. And if you're going to be doing any towing, you know, that could be an issue. Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think these lower gears, maybe I'm wrong, maybe they're higher gears. I don't think it makes that big of a difference when it comes to towing, but this one has the gears that should give you 24 miles a gallon on the highway. So that's the big deal. This is the truck that I thought I was buying when I got my Rebel. And I guess I should have known better. I should have done more research into it, but I didn't. I got excited and I just purchased the truck. And I noticed pretty quickly, I can't get 24 miles a gallon to save my life with that truck. So here it is. It's the exact same truck that I have, the exact same 2025, exact same engine, same ZF 8-speed transmission. I mean, everything is the same, something like 420 horsepower. And I love this truck. And now that I've been driving it, I honestly wish that this was the truck that I had bought. Let's lock the doors. We're in a not so good part of town here. Let's fire it up, and I'm going to show you real quick my fuel economy. And this is why I wish I bought this truck. I really do. Not to mention, it's a whole lot cheaper than my Rebel. So there it is. Over the last almost 50 miles, 20.5 miles a gallon. I've not seen that in my Rebel. That's incredible. And it still has a lot of the options that I prefer. I love the screen. This is a necessity for me. It is missing, however, the trailer brake controller. Not a big deal. For a whole $600 or $700, you can take this back to the dealership and they will install and program a trailer brake controller. But I mean, you still have four-wheel drive. You got the 4x4 auto. You don't have the screen over here, but you get an extra cubby hole. Otherwise, it's honestly pretty similar to mine. It's got almost all of the creature comforts that mine has, including you've got the dual chargers here. Oop, I almost dropped my damn phone. Let's plug it in, make sure that this one is actually a charger over here. I think it is. Actually, I don't see a light. Maybe it's not. No, it's a charger, right? I don't think it is. Oh, well, that would suck. No, there's no wireless charging over there. So it's only on this side. So, okay, you lose, yeah, see that? You lose out on the charger on this side over here. It's not the end of the world, but you still get all the storage up front that you would have normally gotten. It's a nice truck. The leather, I gotta have the leather, mainly because I have a dog. And I've had these seats before, and if you have any pets that you bring in your car with you, guys, I don't know what it is, but the pet hair gets so stuck and embedded into the seats. A vacuum is good luck. Even with the roller, the sticky roller, even then, it's almost impossible to get the hair out of these seats. So I avoid the cloth seats at all costs. Otherwise, though, this truck gets great fuel economy. It's still really quick on its feet. I haven't towed with it, but I'd be willing to bet it tows absolutely great. So why don't we take this thing for a little ride? It's only got 8,000 miles on the odometer. I am loving this truck so far, and the best part is, it hasn't broken down on me yet, unlike my other truck. So why don't we take this thing for a little drive, man? This is a really nice truck. I am very impressed, considering this is a Bighorn. I don't think this is like the base model, but I mean, it's a pretty base model. It obviously doesn't have leather, it doesn't have heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, it doesn't have the extra screen. I mean, it's a really, really dumbed down version of my truck. With that said, it's also cheaper than my truck, and after driving this thing for a while, it's really it's really had me thinking, why did I buy my truck? Why didn't I buy something like this that's cheaper? You have to remember, my truck, although I do use it daily, often, it's for work. I use it to get around to places like Copart, insurance, auto auctions, hauling cars from one place to another, going out of state for things like, it's used for work. So you don't have to have a leather interior or heated and cooled seats or a heated steering wheel. Those things are nice. The only thing that I have to have is a trailer brake controller. Like, that's an absolute must for me. But now that I've had this truck for a couple of days and I've been driving it, I have really come to enjoy it. And although I do love the Rebel, I feel like I could have saved a ton of money by just getting a more base model truck. So maybe part of that is because mine broke down. Maybe I'm having a little buyer's remorse there, but I told you guys from the beginning, I knew what I was getting into. I knew that it could go wrong, and I bought it anyway. So I knew what I was getting into. I didn't expect it to break. That's not something I expect. And I sure didn't expect it to break so badly. The last time I'd run the codes on it, there were like 8, 9 codes, something like that. One of them for the transmission, which was like, what? The transmissions in these things are like, they're considered, some of you may disagree, but the transmissions in these, the ZF 8-speed transmission, they've been putting them in these since 2013. There's a reason why they're that old and they're still using them. These transmissions are considered some of the, the best transmissions in the industry. They are bulletproof, rock solid transmissions. So to find that I had some codes for my transmission was a little concerning. And then a whole bunch of codes for my engine, also very concerning. And to only have 2,500 miles on that truck, and I only towed with it one time. And yes, it was already broken in. It was already well broken in when I first towed with it. It's crazy. And it didn't give me any problems when I towed. In fact, it hauled absolutely great. I was hauling a Chrysler Prowler to Tulsa. So it wasn't super far away. It wasn't a heavy car or anything. And it did great. And it was quite a while after that before the truck finally just it broke down bad. That's all I can say. So yeah, maybe some of it is a little bit of buyer's remorse. And now that I'm driving this truck and I'm like, well, this truck's got 8,000 miles on it. And this truck is great, right? No problems, no warning lights on the dash. I mean, it's absolutely great. And the fact that it gets better fuel economy. Currently, I'm at 18.6 over the last 75 miles. 18.5 now. We're gonna get back on the highway and just kind of cruise a little bit. It's very slick out here today. It's not cold, it's just these roads get so slippery right after it rains, man. You get all those oils and stuff loosened up, and it becomes a real slippery surface. Let's see if I can get over here, because that lane's gonna end. There we go. I mean, super smooth, quiet, comfortable, but still has plenty of power for like getting onto the highway and getting around obstacles. Like, it's got plenty of power, and it's just so quiet. Some people don't like that. I love it. I love a vehicle that I can have some peace and quiet in when I'm on my way home. There's a lot of times I'll turn off the radio and I'll just cruise like this. These roads are horrible. Do you hear it quiet? It isn't here. You don't even hear the engine. I get it. A lot of people like hearing the engine, but man, there are plenty of times where I've got a headache, I've had a rough day. I just want to cruise. And even in a truck, it is so nice to be able to just shut everything off and just drive and enjoy that peace and quiet, all while at the same time getting pretty respectable combined 18.5 mile a gallon fuel economy. So I have to return this truck, which is why I'm making this review video on it today. I thought since I had it, we might as well review it. It is the same, but it is different. Like I said, the rear axle is not the same. This is the one that I wish I had gotten so I could get the better fuel economy. I don't mind taking a hit on the low end torque for towing, because typically I'm not towing. Like, the majority of my driving is A to B, no towing. So it would make more sense to have the axle that's better for fuel economy and take the hit on the towing end occasionally when I have to haul something. That's what I would have preferred, but I don't think you can get a Rebel with this axle. I don't believe that's even possible. Oh yeah, now you're gonna have to hit your brakes. See? No brake lights either. He's got a third brake light, that's it. Of course, yep, cut on over here. Yeah, no turn signals or nothing. There you go. Yep, no bed either, so the traction on the back of that thing is gonna be absolutely epic, let me tell you. What an idiot. Yeah, there you go. All that zooming around so that you could literally get off the highway at the same place you could have gotten off if you had just stayed behind me without risking getting into an accident. The way people drive today, man, and all these people in such a damn hurry. Where are you going? Like this guy over here. Where are you going? You're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? You're not going anywhere. Traffic is traffic. It's raining. You're gonna get stuck in it. Just slow down, relax, man. It's not that big of a deal. Anyway, this truck is great. I cannot recommend the Hurricane just yet. So if it's something that you've been on the fence about and you're like, man, I think I'm gonna go get one. Listen, when I first got the truck, all day long, I was assuming I wasn't gonna have any problems, and that's because the Hurricane engine has actually been out for quite a while, guys. A lot of people think, oh, it's a brand new first-year engine. No, it is not. It has been out since like 2022, 2023, something like that, when they were putting it in the Grand Wagoneers. So the engine itself has been out for a while, guys. It is the first year that they put it into these trucks. That's right. So I think, I could be wrong, but I expect that the problem is going to be with wiring. They had to completely redesign the wiring harnesses for the new Ram trucks, and it's because of the new engine. The transmission's the same, but the engine is different. The technology that runs the engine is different. So it's got a completely new wiring harness, and I don't know, I've got a sneaky suspicion that the wiring harness is gonna end up being the source of the problems. Now, again, I don't know if this is something that's going to affect all of the Hurricanes, a lot of the Hurricanes, or if I'm just one really unlucky SOB, but trust me, I'm gonna have my video coming out really soon. As soon as I get my truck back, we'll find out. And we'll find out if the problem has been corrected. But as far as the trucks themselves, when they're not messing up, I'm telling you, way better ride quality than the Hemi. I don't know that the power feels a whole lot different or a whole lot better compared to the e-torque Hemi that I had. There is a slight lag on the turbos. It doesn't really affect me. I mean, even the Hemi had a slight lag, and that's just, I guess, from the time you push the accelerator until the computer commands the throttle body open. It wasn't much, and I don't feel like the turbo lag on these Hurricane engines are really that bad either. I mean, it's there, but it's really, to me, it's not even worth talking about. So if that's something you're concerned about, go test drive one for yourself. Go to your local Ram dealer and see what you think. But in my honest opinion, I don't think the lag is something to even be concerned about. That wouldn't be on my list of things that I dislike about the truck. It's fine. So I think we're going to turn around. Hell, we're almost at 19 miles a gallon over the last 80 miles. And if you go back to the last 55 miles, 20 and a half. Seriously, that's impressive. And that is the main thing that's got me wishing I had bought one of these instead of the Rebel. Now, with that said, the Rebel is a way cooler truck, man. The big, meaty, knobby tires, you know what I mean? Lifted up off the ground, that orange-red color with the black graphic. The Rebel's a way cooler truck, but is it worth sacrificing on the regular? Like, I don't know, man. 4 miles a gallon? 5 miles a gallon? I guess to each their own. For me, I'd rather have the better fuel economy, but the deal's done. I own the Rebel now. It is what it is, man. It's still an awesome truck. I just hope we can get it to the point where it's not breaking down on me, because right now I have trust issues with that truck. I really do. Like, it concerns me. I have a trip that I'm supposed to be maybe making. It all goes back to the 1966 Chevy Impala SS that's down in Florida. I bought it, I want it, I've had it for a while, but I can't get anybody to ship it. I already paid a company $1,300 and some to ship it here, and they never picked it up. And now I paid for it, and I'm also being charged $25 a day from Copart in storage fees. So I've been thinking, maybe I need to just hop in the truck and go pick it up. You know, take a drive down to Florida, see if we can get it running on the side of the road or in a Walmart parking lot, and see if we can drive it home. And if not, I'll have the truck. I could rent a U-Haul trailer, and hopefully it fits on a U-Haul trailer. And then we could drive it back. You know, we could haul it back, whatever. It could be a fun trip. Plus, we get to go to Florida. Are you kidding me? That'd be awesome. Unfortunately, I don't trust that truck right now. Like, it's gonna have to prove itself. I can't be 1,200 miles from home needing to haul a car back and find out my truck breaks down and I've got to send it to the dealership in Florida. I can't even imagine how all of that would work. You know what I mean? That's no good, man. No, I don't trust it, and that's a big deal. And that's why I buy new vehicles. I buy new vehicles so I don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. Unfortunately, even new vehicles break. So I just stopped, I got some gas, we're back on the highway, gonna head over to Enterprise to drop this off, and I realized something. I thought that this truck did not have heated seats or heated steering wheel. No, it's got both, guys. If you go over here to Comfort, take a look. Yeah. Heated seats right up here at the top and a heated steering wheel. Are you serious? And right there too. Ha! Well, how about that? This is honestly, I'm liking this truck more and more and more now. Dang it, man. Dang it. Let's turn on those heated seats. It is just a little chilly. It's because I'm wet. I just stood outside having to get gas. After driving my Tesla for a while, sometimes I forget what it's like to have to, put your card in the pump, stand there and wait, enter your zip code, wait again, then put your pump in the gas tank, and then it makes you wait like 45 seconds before it clicks over to let you actually pump your gas. Sometimes I get spoiled by that Tesla. Oh man, those heated seats are, wow, that's quick. Yeah. Even with the cloth, man, the heated seats in this thing are great. So I got the 4x4 auto engage because it is wet and it is kind of slippery. Still hanging on to 20.8, guys. I'll bet if we were on just a nice road trip without having to stop and go constantly, without all the construction and everything, I'll bet, I bet money this truck in two-wheel drive could probably do right around the 24. I'll bet realistically, though, probably more around 22. I think this truck could do 22 miles a gallon, no problem. And honestly, that's pretty incredible. That is very impressive. And this even has the adaptive cruise control, which works great. For a Bighorn, I'm honestly impressed at how many options this truck is loaded up with. And I got to give a big shout out to Enterprise, man. Man, they were so good to me. David Stanley told me that I could not get a truck as my, and that's the other thing. Used to, David Stanley would give me a loaner car. They didn't give me a loaner car. I had to go to Enterprise. Now, what's cool is they paid for my lift to get me to Enterprise, and then Enterprise was really awesome because they were like, what do you have being worked on at David Stanley? I told them a 25 Ram, and they're like, all right, cool. They said, so do you want a truck? And I said, yes. I said, but David Stanley told me I couldn't have a truck. Apparently, David Stanley said to get a truck, you have to like file a complaint with Stellantis corporate office or something like that, like a consumer complaint. You have to call them and be like, hey, I have a problem, I've got a truck and I need a truck as a replacement. Here's my thing, as far as loaner vehicles go, which like I said, this is not a loaner. This is from Enterprise. David Stanley is paying Enterprise for me to be in this instead of giving me a loaner truck off the lot, which this is something brand new to me. It's always been, if I brought a car in, they gave me something else comparable. So they told me that there's been policy changes lately. I don't know if that's at the corporate level or if this is like at the franchise level. I'm not sure. But it is interesting that I had to go to Enterprise and they told me you cannot get a truck. They will not authorize a truck. And if you could get a truck, it's not going to be a truck with a tow hitch. You can't get a truck with a tow hitch. They won't give you anything that can tow. And it's like, wait a minute. I gave you my truck that is broken that I purchased that I have to make payments on. That truck has a tow hitch because I have to tow. And then I start thinking, what about people that tow for a living, that have trucks, they buy trucks, they actually have to tow things regularly. And to go back and then be told, yeah, we're gonna give you a loaner car, but you can't, it doesn't have any way of towing, and you can't even get a truck. They told me they were gonna put me in an SUV, and I was like, what? I thought I was supposed to get like something comparable to what I brought in, but Enterprise saved the day. When I got there and I told the guy what was in service, he said, all right, he said, so do you want a truck? And I said, yes. I said, but, and I told the guy, David Stanley said, I cannot get a truck. And he was like, what? He said, yeah, right here in the computer, I'm authorized to give you a truck. It says that you're entitled to a full-size vehicle, and a truck is considered a full-size vehicle. And I said, hey, as long as I'm not pissing anybody off or stepping on anybody's toes, then fine, give me a truck. And here we go, he gave me a truck. Thankfully, I haven't needed to tow anything yet. I thought I was gonna have to by now, and I also thought my truck was gonna be in service a lot longer than it has been. It's only been 2 days, and they told me I can come pick it up now, so I didn't actually need the truck, but if they were gonna have to keep it for a long period of time, I need a truck, guys. You know me, I cannot live without a truck. So here we are. I'm going to head back to Enterprise Rent-A-Car right now. We're going to drop this off. They are going to give me a ride. Again, shout out to Enterprise, man. They're going to give me a ride back to David Stanley. And, well, I'm going to pick up my truck. I'm going to cross my fingers that it's fixed, but I'm going to tell you right now in this video, I'm just going to give you a little heads up. I don't think it's fixed. And I'll leave it at that. Would you guys look at this? 21.2 miles a gallon. I knew it. I told you. I knew for a fact this truck could do 22. Damn it. I'm really, really wanting one of these. Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll get lucky. And maybe my truck will just break over and over again, and they'll never be able to, I shouldn't say it because then it's probably going to happen. I don't want to have to try to lemon law my truck, and I know there's going to be a lot of people that bring that up. Lemon law, number one, it only applies to new vehicles, and number two, it has to be the same problem 3 times without the dealership being able to repair it. then you can file lemon law. But even then, like, who wants to do that? You know, who really wants to go through all the rigmarole, the hassle of having to file a lemon law claim on their vehicle? You don't buy a vehicle hoping for a lemon. You know, it's not a fun process. I've had to do it before on a brand new Corvette, and honestly, it's such a pain. It's really stressful. Nobody wants it. So that's not what I want. I don't want to file a lemon, but damn it, man, I do kind of wish I had opted for this one instead. If I had known that this little truck could have been had with all these options for far cheaper than what I paid for mine, I so would have bought one of these. I didn't know. Okay. With that said, guys, we are almost Enterprise, and I think it's about time to end this video. I do love this truck, though. I do. So I think we're going to get out of here, guys, and I'm going to start making the ending to my Rebels video, and I sincerely hope that it has a happy ending, because I really don't want to have to deal with dragging it back to the dealership again. So if you've been on the fence about getting yourself one of these new Rams with the new Hurricane, that SST, especially the HO, I would love to drive one of the HOs, man. Those things are supposed to be absolute monsters. I would say, even though the engines have been out for a while, if I had known about these problems before I bought my truck, I probably would have held off and stuck with the previous generation that had the Hemi. Whether it was an e-torque or not doesn't matter. I honestly probably would have stuck with a Hemi for at least another couple of years to give them time to work out whatever's going on with these trucks. And I know that it's not just me, because I've seen the articles online. I've seen the people complaining. It's all over the place. It's on Just Answer, Quora, Reddit. I mean, you name it. The Ram forums. It's all over the place that people are having a lot of issues out of these trucks. And a lot of it does seem to be wiring related. Some of it head gasket related. Some of it thermostat related. There are some problems, and these are just going to be some growing pains. Listen, guys, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.